What does a business analyst do? This is a very interesting question. And when you ask this question to, say, hundreds of business analysts, you will actually get maybe 30 to 40 different answers. My name is LN Mishra, Principal Business Analyst at Adaptive US and a BA practitioner for close to 30 years. And this question has been popping up in my head. Why is so much confusion around the world in the world around the term business analysis and business analyst? So, in my experience, and I have interacted with probably more than 10,000 professionals across the world, across the industries, domains, countries, I would consider business analyst as one of the most controversial role. That means we do lack clarity on this particular role. When we talk to a project manager and we ask, what do you do? The project manager is very clear. He or she will say, I make sure that the project is successful. Similarly, what does a business analyst do and what is that they are trying to achieve is still a very controversial question. Because indeed, there exists multiple business analyst roles, and that's where the confusion comes in the activities that they carry out. So I tried to make a very simple, interesting image for you. And what I intended to communicate is that between the word business and analysis, there exists a middle word. And that middle word can be very many. Like here, I have put it as needs. It could be information or data. It could be process. It could be performance. It could be strategy. It could be portfolio. It could be capabilities. And these are some names which I have put and I have come across. And there could be many more which can exist in this list. So obviously, when we are doing, say, business process analysis against business data analysis, there would be some common aspects that we will talk, but the tools and techniques can be quite different because in process analysis, you may use certain kind of tools and techniques, whereas in data analysis, you could use a different set of tools and techniques. And that's where the whole confusion comes. So in this short video, my aim would be to explore a little bit more about the role, which is the business needs analysis role or business requirements analysis role. And I would probably make similar videos for business data analysis, business performance analysis in the later part of the series. So the route I am taking to do is to take you through a formal definition given by an organization called International Institute of Business Analysis. It's established in Canada, has about 40,000 members. It's a fairly established entity to talk about business analysis. And what does IIBA say about business analysis? It says business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs. So obviously, it's more focused on needs analysis and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. So essentially, business analysis is the ability to make change happen, especially positive change happen, by identifying the needs and opportunities, the problems and opportunities that any organization has, and then finding out solutions which can deliver that. So, in a sense, business analysts are essentially change enablers. So coming down, BABOK also gave us a very interesting framework, and it said, as business analysts, we should be comfortable in doing 6 different types of activities as part of our project scope. And I'm going to talk about each one of them in a very brief. There is, of course, a lot of literature available on BABOK. If you become a member of IIBA, you get access to BABOK as well, where you can read in detail about each of these knowledge areas and the tasks contained within. So let's start with the first set of task areas that as a BA we should be focused on. One is planning and monitoring. And all of us are familiar with the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, which was proposed by CWAT in the year 1930. So you can imagine a framework which has almost existed for 100 years and still doing very well. In fact, if you study any of the frameworks, any of the standards, be it project management standard, be it IT services standard, any standard you study, they all follow PDCA cycle. So as part of our planning and monitoring activities, we of course have to identify the tasks that we will carry out as business analysts, create a schedule, understand the cost elements, understand the scope of the change that we are trying to implement, and the stakeholders with whom we would work. We also would look at risks and requirement sources because, as part of needs analysis, a major part actually goes towards requirements analysis. So, planning is one key area. Then the second key area is elicitation and collaboration. All of us understand that any system that we develop, requirements play a very vital role because if we don't get right requirements, obviously the solution design and solution itself will not be a great solution. That's very natural. So it's our intent or our endeavor to get complete, correct, consistent, clear requirements. So that's where requirements play a very important role in the lives of business analysts. Then the third part, of course, is because we are dealing with requirements, we need to maintain requirements for a fairly large period of time. So requirements can survive for thousands of years. It might seem little interesting that how can a requirement live for 1,000 years, but you will find organizations which have survived 1,000 years, and some of the requirements that they started with, imagine a business starting 1,000 years back, and some of the requirements that they had at that point in time may be still valid today, like tracking your customers, tracking your revenue, tracking your costs, tracking your profit. These requirements survive till the organization survives. And of course, we as business analysts, we are also very interested in making sure that the organization understands these requirements from a very long-term perspective and it is able to find common requirements across solutions. So it's not that a requirement is specific to a solution only. The requirements can actually be useful for other projects and other products as well. Then we talk about change strategy analysis, which means how do we make a change happen? So every organization has different aptitude for change, how much change they can accept. And in general, in software industry, we talk of two primary approaches. One we call predictive or waterfall approach, or adaptive or agile approach. So this is something, again, business analysts need to think what would be the best change strategy for the organization that they are working with. Then again, another major piece of BA work is to understand requirements, qualify them, check their quality, make sure that the requirements are aligned to the project scope, describe the requirements in detail using models and specifications. So if you study BA work, about 30 to 40% of BA work is devoted towards requirements analysis. So requirement analysis is again a very important task for business analysts. Then we are also responsible to make sure that the solutions that we have developed in the current project or the organization has inherited over a period of time, that these projects are really adding value to the organization. And if they are not adding value to the organization, what can the organization do to derive maximum value from the solutions that it is building? Finally, as BAs, we also deal and use a variety of techniques. So I have put a big mind map in front of you. You can see there are 50 of them mentioned, and the types of techniques and number of techniques keep increasing over a period of time as we understand newer dimensions of business analysis. Like, say, data analysis has its own set of techniques. If you are studying product ownership, there are new set of techniques which are coming into the BA 4. So let me go back and introduce my company a little bit and tell you what we can do with you. We as a company are highly invested into business analysis domain. So we only deal with business analysis, nothing more. And we have assisted more than 6,000 business analysts to do well in their professional career. We provide pretty high quality content on business analysis certifications. We do have expert mentors on board who assist our students and customers to do well in their business analysis work. We also are very fanatic about our customer success stories. Then we also have pretty good boot camps. So if you are a new business analyst, you want to learn about business analysis, boot camps are a great place to do so. They come with a very large instructor-led support. It also comes with ECBA certification, or you can also take up CBDA certification. Comes with a lot of tools training, which are very essential for any business analyst. It also comes with resume and interview preparation as well. We are an interesting company and probably only one of the very few who offer 100% success guarantee on our certification courses. Our sessions are guaranteed to run, and we also provide 100% money back guarantee. You can actually take a look at some of our past student success stories in the URL that I have provided, and you can reach out to them as well. If you wish to talk to them, you are free to reach out to them. So these are the set of mentors that you will interact with at Adaptive. Most of our mentors are 20 plus years in business, rather in business analysis. Many of us have been part of IIBA standards writing board, question setting team. So you are dealing with people who are truly masters in the subject. So I would strongly encourage you to come and take a trial of any of our products. So here is a page link where all our product trials are available. And depending on which area of business analysis you are keen on, you can actually take a look and try um, some tests, get some content. And if you have any further questions, you can come to our live webinars as well, which we conduct periodically, and ask us questions. So as a company, we guarantee you an awesome BA career, and that's the promise that I'm making on behalf of the organization. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this short video. You can reach us at info@adaptiveus.com, and you can also call us at 1+1 877 872 2860. So you can interact with any of our team members who are there. And generally, we are quite active in replying to your emails and suggestions. So if you are looking for any help in the business analysis area, do let us know. Thank you so much.